Hello and welcome to another episode of FCC Fan TV. Nick here, as always, with my co-host Cody.
Hey, everybody.
Cody, another. I was gonna say heartbreaking, but it really wasn't heartbreaking. Another loss. Just another one in the
Yeah,
bag. Just
well, it's the same old every week. I almost want us to lose in a different. Like, if we're gonna lose, at least try and lose in a different way. But we're seeing the same mistakes week in and week out. Um, I will say this was my first match being able to go to West End Stadium. Um, well, the stadium is obviously great, but I gotta say I don't feel like the not the club, but I don't feel like they were prepared for a full stadium.
oh,
Like the concourse was a mess all the way throughout. The concession lines were a mess all the way throughout. The Bailey was a mess.
they ran out of food like
They
halfway.
literally ran out of food. like
Yeah,
I, I mean, it's only 20 something thousand people. We're not talking like a full NFL stadium. It just kind of seemed odd to me. It was a very odd experience. And then you and I were in the Bailey. It was a very also odd experience. Um, like
I think the
the
highlight
road.
was watching those two guys almost fight each other about where they stand and the cops getting involved. I
Well, so
think that
there's
was the high.
that.
Yeah, that was pretty
There
fun.
was like people like being very adamant about reserving seats for their friends who weren't there yet. I'm like, it's general admission. Like, in my head, I'm like, kind of, what are you talking about? It was an all around very weird experience, and then we go out and lose 2-0. So it was a very odd day. Although the rain stayed away.
That's true. It was actually, despite being very warm and muggy, a
Humid.
pretty
Yeah,
pleasant evening
humid.
all around.
Yeah.
I guess could have been worse.
No, it definitely could have
We
been
could
worse.
have been FC Cincinnati players.
Yeah. Uh, the one person I did feel really bad for was Barrial. You and I both noticed it. His legs were dead, and we were just out of subs. Like we could not get him off the pitch.
Yeah, him and
Uh,
Brenner kind of went down at the same time. Unfortunately, this is kind of becoming a trend with Barriol.
yeah,
He pretty much hits 70 minutes, cramps up, and he's done every week. So while I very much enjoy him as a player, I'm just starting to take more fitness issues into question because I had one of my notes here is we were confused at the game who came out for Lacadia and it was a Tonga, which I couldn't figure out because we'll start a bright spot here on a little bit. I thought Atonga was a breath of fresh air on that left wing a little bit in that first half when
yeah.
they actually decided to like go for
I
his
don't.
best attribute.
Well, I don't think it helped that it was Castillo's first start with us. Really, was that the second time he's played this season?
I think his
First time he
first he
started, but
got into like the preseason, but I don't remember him coming on this season. But honestly, I
yeah,
he seemed
he,
perfectly
he got
adequate as a backup left back. Man,
correct, but I feel like he almost tried to play Matarita's role when that's not his. Like he was really trying to play like a left wing back, and he just kept getting caught out of position. He would get back, but I feel like if he just played left back, he would have been better. Um, but coming in for an injured guy, you haven't played all season. I can't really complain that much. But to your point, yes, like I kind of got on a Castillo rant there for no reason, but yes,
yeah, no. So like the what I like to talk like when they finally started. So we have this problem where we always make the wrong decision with the ball. It feels like to where like we don't bring it back when we select for to actually bring numbers in, or like we don't attack when we have numbers. So like the times we actually did the right thing for a Tonga and like played it into space and just he is as fast as advertised. He just
yeah,
got on the ball and just outran people. And then he maybe tried to dribble too much a little bit, but I mean, man's first start trying to make an impression. Like it was also nice to see somebody else trying to do the willingness to take some people on the dribble outside of Lucho, who we can touch on him later too. I thought probably his worst game of the season.
yeah, I'd
Um,
agree.
but yeah, Atonga was nice. Like had a couple nice shots. Like just his speed was a difference maker. So I'm wondering if that's just a fitness issue or just it seems like we really have that 60th minute left wing plan sub for Lacadia has just been the game plan this season to manage the minutes for his loan status. So I wonder if that's just still it seemed pre-planned That's all I can say usually about that first sub is it's always seems like it's the left wing and it's always kind of flopping Lacadia in there, Lacadia out of there. So, but nice to see a
Which
Tongo.
we only have what 2 more matches of, if they even one. I was surprised he was in this match. It was announced the day before that uh, we're not signing him after the loan. And the loan ends June 30th. June 30th. So you and I were surprised to even see Lacadia come in the first place.
I'm not necessarily surprised. I think it's a little bit of he really still is one of our better players, despite I have my last note as watching this game is that he is for sure cursed on being able to
Yeah, that
like
last shot.
man, he even had the one that he ripped from outside the box that got saved, and it's just like okay, like this at a certain point, like he does everything right when he's on there. So like I'm not surprised. I wonder if this is a bit of a play from the front office at this point that he still is effective and also letting him to kind of hopefully audition for that next step of his career and not trying to burn any sort of bridges with agents, teams, that kind of thing. So I'm not surprised. I still think he's one of the more talented players on the roster. So if he's willing to play and the front office is willing to play him and he's going out there and still giving effort, I think he'll. I don't think we'll touch on it here because this is going to be a bit of a two-parter, a quick rapid fire here with the double game week here, the Rado review followed by fire preview. But I don't think we'll see him. Well, we might see him start fire game now that I think about it, but it really just depends on what that minutes restriction is that we all keep hearing about. So whatever comes
Yep.
of that. Is there anybody else? I mean, we kind of touched on a Tonga already that impressed you this game for FC Cincinnati.
I mean, when his legs didn't give out on him, Barrial was fantastic. Uh, uh, yeah. And I'm getting to the point where I'm just going to start saying like fantastic to our standards, which is low. But he's out there. He's at least trying to put up shots. Um, Acosta, like you already briefly mentioned it, probably his worst game with us. It's not even that he was bad; it was just his worst game. Once again, by our standards, he had a pretty good game.
Yeah,
um,
for
but
Acosta,
by
I
his
think he just
standards,
tried
it was
to
his worst.
do too much.
I think he's losing complete trust in his
Oh,
teammates
for
at this
sure.
point.
I mentioned that a couple times, and I think we've kind of reached that point. But also, it seems I still think all of our issues are like systematic at this point.
Oh,
Like not all of them, but a vast
I
majority. I feel like can be shifted by like not having your midfielder drop back and play right back, or having Lucho come pick the ball off and be at the
well,
right
not
back position. Like,
well, not having Lucho out on the left on the left flank the entire match. Like play him at the 10. That's
well, I
his
think he has a
position.
little bit of freedom to go, and I think that's just where he found the space. But I don't like when he has to come back and be the one to pick the ball up because then we're extra out of like. There's just no chance at that point unless he's going to take it and dribble, which is what he tries to do, and like sometimes it comes off and sometimes it doesn't. But I don't know. You need your center backs to be able the ones to kind of progress that ball to the first level, but then it always seems like it's Kubo coming back to pick up the ball, but not centrally, and he picks it up out at the right back, and then you only have Cruz to play it to in the middle because Zhao's like touching sideline, and they're gonna let Zhao touch the ball like every team will, and then Lucho's still trying to move around, and just we never get into those tight triangles you want to see. Everything seems super spaced apart, and there's never any ability to sort of hit a pass, hit a pass, hit a pass, and just get down the field. They just still don't seem like they have any cohesion, which is just kind of getting annoying to like. As you said, like I wish we'd just kind of lose a different way. Like I'd rather just like be really good and like get beat by moments of brilliance. And the 2 goals Colorado scored today were not moments of brilliance.
No, if anything, it should have been one just stupid. It's just a horrible play all around by FCC.
Yeah. And I mean, honestly, like, yeah, it was very easy to get the ball to where it was. And that guy just happened to take, I don't even know who scored, Jonathan Lewis. And just,
There's Jonathan
yeah, came
Lewis.
on as a sub, got the ball like left side of the 18, and just kind of went for it, which from that angle, it was such a tight angle. And Vermeer, I noticed, looked like he was thinking about running out there to try to get it, which is why he's out of position because he goes and hops his way out to the 6-yard box and then just gives the whole goal. Like there's Vermeer out. Can we start with that one again? I kind of come
No,
back
we're
on
gonna
him,
start
but
Stam out though. The
yeah, you
this
can't come out.
whole this entire management staff needs to go.
Yeah, before we get into that, let's get into the first thing on let's go Colorado's first goal, and then we'll just
I'm
get to the.
full Stam
Let's
out at this point. I
I'm gonna run through my notes of the game, and then we'll get to the rant part. So just a few things. Like I said,
uh,
there was no screenshots this one because we're running on a tight two preview review double episode. We got burned 3 times by the same play that led to the first goal, with the Bum getting the ball and playing it over the top, and then playing it through the middle to Barrios of theirs over the top, and we got burned on it twice before we actually gave up the goal for it. And we didn't even give the goal to Barrios. We gave the ball because Kubo didn't track Rubio back into the box, and Rubio just popped up and slotted one home. And it was slightly unfortunate. Viacia got a foot to it, just couldn't clear it all the way. But I mean, geez, everyone was in the scramble drill there, and it was just bad. Like that same sequence happened 2 times in the previous like 5 to 10 minutes, and they just knew what they were looking for. They knew they would lull us in. They spray it out from the center back to the wing, and then they just go right over the middle. Kind of the play we run for Barrial a little bit, where he makes that sort of J run and hooks down the middle. They were doing the same thing to us because our center backs just keep. As soon as we get comfortable on the ball, we get too high, and they don't realize when they're too high, and they don't realize when they need to turn around and run. So once again, more systematic issues, which especially after a 2-week international break is very disappointing to see. We win Tonga. Also, I noticed we weren't really pressing as much as we did normally when we play the 4-3-3.
we did like the first 10 minutes and then it just stopped.
Yeah, so that was a little annoying to see, because I think that's when you're at home trying to create goals when you can't score. I mean, I know why they probably didn't, because they were trying to be more defensively sound, which I guess kind of we were. But Colorado, like the stats of the game are just so deceiving, because Colorado was very happy. They scored that one goal, subbed off Barrios and Rubio, and pretty much just said, like, you can't beat us, and sat back. And they were right. We had a bunch of shots. Like, Yarbrough made some good saves, but I don't think any of them might have been spectacular. We got a little unlucky. I think Barrial was the most unlucky with that header not going in that hit the bar, because I'm not sure.
No, it was definitely
Oh yeah,
the second shot.
I don't the second one, or the one he ripped from outside the box. The one he went outside the box.
The one from outside the box was just a good save by Yarbrough. The second one where it got deflected back to him, and he puts it right on goal. He's like a foot out from the goal, and somehow Yarbrough like gets back to
I thought it got cleared by a center back.
Was it clear?
Either
I
way,
can't
like,
remember.
yeah.
But I mean, like,
either way, like I said, my last note from this game, Lacadia for sure cursed. So
it's not like he was perfect position, play like right on his foot. He put it in perfectly, and it just somehow got deflected. Like it made
one other
sense.
bright spot. I did like seeing Kovacevic. I've heard like multiple things now between the broadcast and everybody else. He looked fine for his 10 minutes on the field, showed some energy, looked like he wanted to be out there and run around, which at this point is like half the battle, it looks like, with our players, is that they just look like they want to be out there. So I'd like to see him get some more minutes in the next. He probably will with the double game week and his loan coming up on end. Now that we may have a spot for him with Harris being injured. So be curious to see if he plays his way into staying here for his loan, if that is feasible. I'm not sure the money on it. I know it's an international slot, but I have to assume even when Harris comes back, he's probably going to end up, I don't know, on loan or something, if someone will still take him that late in the season. That was just unfortunate all the way around, but I liked what I saw out of him. Nothing crazy, just came in, showed some energy, made some decent plays. So, okay, Cody.
I love how Vasquez was on for like 10 minutes and was offside. That's the only significant thing he did.
He did rip that free kick. It wasn't like an amazing one.
That's
he put
true.
it, like, he got it over the wall, got it on target. Like, everyone was like, oh my God, he got robbed. It was like, he didn't hit it with, like, there wasn't enough pace on that to beat. Well, it could probably be
I forgot
Kenneth
about
Vermeer,
the free kick.
so I don't want to say any MLS goalkeeper, because I just watched MLS goalkeeper get by all that keeper shouldn't get by. So, you know, maybe he's just not. So Cody, I rudely interrupted you before, so I believe you wanted some Stam out time here real quick.
I'm just that's it. I'm done. We can't, if you want to build a successful, because they're still building this franchise. This isn't a built franchise. You haven't been established for the past 100 years, and it's like, okay, like they're part of the city. Like the Reds can suck and people will still go because it's like, well, They're the Reds. You've been around for like what, 5 years now? 6 years?
17? 16?
7?
17? I don't know, man.
Yeah.
I
Well, we'll
only
have
count by
5.
wooden spoons.
Yeah, 3 then. Uh, all I'm saying is you don't have this established built franchise, and since you've been an actual pro, you've sucked. We've sucked. I mean, it's my team, it's your team. Like we have sucked, but the fans deserve better. And you throwing Stam out there week after week and us losing the exact same way is just show like it's like we don't care. Like we made it. We're done. Like we did our job. We made it to MLS, you know. Like it just makes no sense to
Yeah.
me. I mean I'm at the point where the front office needs a whole shakeup too. Like this thing needs to be shaken up because you know what? Like the amount of money this team has spent, wisely or unwisely, Hagland, like I was just never a fan of the Hagland signing in the
Well,
first place. There was just too much money.
yeah, that's why I'm not a fan of it. Like I
Yeah,
like Hagelin is definitely at least an MLS caliber
yes,
player, just
correct.
not my god that much allocate.
Well,
We
that's all I'm
could be
saying.
here
Like,
for years if we want to talk about how badly we bundled the initial job, but let's just focus on the
but that's my point.
Oh yeah, but that's why Birding stepped
My
down and we
point is just
hired
we've spent
Niekamp, and then
poorly.
now we're
Yes,
here. And I still don't think Niekamp's brought in bad players.
and that's what I was trying to get to. I don't think it's the players. I think we have players to field a quality MLS squad overall. But you and I have talked on it week after week after week. When you play players out of position, like Kubo's gotten better, but he's still not Nate. I don't know. I don't even know if he's a left wing at this point anymore. But like, what you're doing is not working. Change it up. Because all you're showing to me going week after week after week of losing the same ways, putting out the same thing is like, I don't care. Yeah,
It just
whatever.
shows a
Like the
lack of
result is what it
ideas and
is.
creativity.
Yeah. And teams clearly know how to beat us. Like, you're not wrong. Colorado scored their goal. They're just like, okay. Like, yeah, we're done. Like, we can just cruise to the next, 60 minutes of the match. And they did. And they got a second goal out of it still. Like,
Yeah,
it's frustrating.
I wasn't necessarily on the Stom out train, and now I'm starting to leave the station on that one. Uh,
I'm full
yeah,
send. The
so
Coles are.
mainly maybe it's in my DNA. I'm a very big trust the process guy. Now that has died too. R.I.P. Philadelphia
Yeah.
76ers.
To be fair, I'm just used to being managers being fired after like 6
That's true.
months.
I just want to rip on you real quick. So, what are you gonna do when you lose your draft pick in an hour? We're recording 7:27 on Tuesday before the NBA draft lottery. Cody is a Timberwolves fan. Um,
Uh,
so
it's already
okay,
lost.
perfect. You're in the right mindset for this. And Stom Al, continue.
Uh, yeah, no, I'm pretty much done ranting on Stein. It's just we as fans deserve better.
Yeah,
Like
honestly, at this
that's really what
if
it
we don't
is.
come out against Chicago in some sort of different
A
formation or
a
try
worse team than us.
well, technically no.
No, they're ahead of us in the standings. They are not. They are a worse team than us.
Yeah.
We'll get to
No,
Chicago in
let's
a
just
minute
go
here.
right
Sorry,
now.
let me
Let's flip
interrupt.
into it. First game, I guess we have 2 this week. We'll try and get another preview episode out for when we play Toronto. That one's probably not looking good because Pella's back. But we play the Chicago Fire Wednesday night, 8 p.m. Eastern at they play at Soldier Field still. The
Yep.
newly rebranded Chicago Fire coming in on a hot note with a new circular badge, just like everyone else. Welcome to the party. Look,
It does look much
oh
better
yeah, well
than the
anything
badge
looks
there.
better than the abomination they had before. So,
Yeah.
that wasn't hard. But they are coming in 4 points just like us, just bad. So
Yep.
I'm gonna flip over because I pulled up their MLS page, and so they just played Columbus over the weekend. The lineup I saw them run out against Columbus is not what I expect to see. It was missing
No.
a couple of their better players, and I think they really are
Yeah.
planning to hopefully get away from the cellar and just saving their better players for the home game against us, and not trying to run out your best players at the send off of Crew Stadium. So seems like a smart move. Try to get the easier points.
Yep.
So I'm gonna flip over
And
here.
their two best players didn't start.
Yeah,
Arguably their best players.
yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm pulling up here. This is the lineup from 2 weeks ago when they played against Montreal, who we were talking about didn't start. Baric and Stojanovic were the two that didn't start, and I fully expect to be in there. This has kind of been their normal lineup: Shuttleworth, Navarro, Calvo, Romsberg, Sekulic. The defense can switch around a bit, but mainly Stojanovic, Madron, and Baric. They're just as bad as us. Like, but the weird thing is, like, they've started to get better at it, but man, they make some Nick Hagglund passes to the goalkeeper at Orlando style like every week, which at least I can say we don't usually blunder our way through too much. We make silly mistakes that add up. These guys have a blunder in them that I hope we're pressing. I hope we're taking control of. I don't really know how to say it. Like, you watch this team play every week in FC Cincinnati that we're going to be playing against. Like, they play like a 4-2-3-1, Stojanovic and Baric, and we have like Acosta. Like, there's nothing earth-shattering that Chicago's doing because they're just as ineffective.
Yeah, and they've this is us saying they're worse than us. One, I really think they are. The standings might not show up, but there's no reason we shouldn't win tomorrow. And two, if you think our goal scoring drought's bad, they've scored 4 goals all year, and Stojanovic has 3 of them. I think Baric has the other one.
That sounds right. I'm pulling up their football reference page now because I didn't have it pulled up already.
They have 1 win. It was against Miami, 1-0. I mean, still, and if you want to look at us against Miami, it's a team that we played extremely well, and just lost in a. That's the one game where we lost in a very Cincinnati way, and it's not like an FC Cincinnati way, a Cincinnati way of like, oh, home opener, like tie it up. We have this good shot of at least taking away a point, and then Miami goes down and scored, like, what was it, like the 85th? But no, Chicago's not a good team.
Yeah. So what I'm hoping,
there's really not much to cover on them, honestly.
No, they like to mess up at the back, and if you can keep Baric and Stojanovic quiet, you'll probably have an okay day. Like, if we come out of there with anything less than a point, I don't know. Stam should not be on the plane home. They flew. I'm pretty sure Alex Deck posted a letter from going to Chicago and took a picture of it. So I'm assuming they flew there, which also seems like a waste of money for this team. Put them on.
What was that, like a half an hour flight?
Probably 45. Put them on Mega Bus. Like, that's all they need at this point.
It's actually just like 4 hours of reflection time.
No, yeah. So I expect to see some changes for FC this week, though. Don't think. Depends how Viasia's faces after he got subbed off of that game. After he got elbowed, so I kind of maybe expect to see Hagglund in there get a start next to Cameron, or maybe Hagglund next to Viasia if they rotate Cameron to Viasia is okay to go. I expect to see probably a change along center back. Hopefully Moderita's good to go. Not having to play over the weekend, so hopefully his calf's healed up, and this was just kind of knew we had a busy schedule coming up, so we weren't trying to rush him, and he's good to go for this game. I think we could really.
Do you expect Cameron to play, or do you expect? I just don't. I don't expect to play him. It's one or the other.
Yeah. So my thing is, like, if Viasia is not good to go, Cameron's going to play. I don't think we'll rotate both of them.
Okay.
So it's kind of one of those things. If Viasia's face and everything, like, he didn't end up in concussion protocol, I expect him probably to take a seat still, just even then, like Hagglund. It just kind of depends. But I don't know. Like, I could see either way. I think one of the normal pairs still starts and Hagglund comes in for the other one. If we rotate both and put Hagglund and Pedersen out there, I might cry. Zhao probably still at right back, even though at this point, my God, I think if Zico Bailey gets minutes, it's home against, or no, we're on the road at Toronto.
He's hurt right
now.
hurt?
Okay, so we don't have another right back.
Like, minor injury, but he's not
okay. So we don't have another right back. So Zhao's out there, for forever. We don't really have any other midfielders besides Cruz and Kubo and Acosta. Mines maybe at some point shows up, but I'm not. That's like, who else plays midfield on this team? Oh, Caleb Stanko. No reason to go defensive. You know what? We're probably rolling out the back three. Now that I'm just said Stanko's name, we're probably rolling out the back three of Stanko, Cameron, other center back, back. I'm disappointed now. I mean, even though we're losing, I still want us playing the 4-3-3, 4-2-3-1. I just want us to do better in it. It's just like a tactic thing, like we keep talking about. I just want us to see us Formation seems fine. The players you have in it, for the most part, fit that formation. You just got to get them into better spaces in it. And at that point, it's what you have scripted beforehand in practice on the whiteboard. What's the game plan? And if the game plan is just abandoned the middle of the field, is always what it looks like. You can, every time FC's out there, it looks like there's a big square and the middle of it's filled with the other team's players. And we don't use that to our advantage, even if that's what you're trying to do, because you're trying to eventually pull them out and then dart guys in, or you're trying to create overloads on the side. Well, we never make the right decision with the overloads. It's just, I don't know. Expect to see some different changes. I don't know if Atanga gets another start. I feel like Kovacevic might run the 60 and then Lakadia comes in. Or maybe Lakadia
Yep,
starts.
that was my
Depending
thought.
on once again, it's hard to predict that one with this whole Lakadia minute situation. Or maybe Lakadia starts up top. Maybe Vasquez starts up top. If they want to give Brenner some rest, I think he might need a game off. Just to kind of, I think he's doing fine. I just think he might just need a break, even though we had an international break, but he's still young. So, and then right wing, if Barrial's good to go, he should play 70 at least. We don't really have the ability to make changes and expect better results, like that personnel wise. Outside of wings,
No, correct.
Outside of wings, we have no depth.
And there's no reason we should, I keep saying it, this should be a win tomorrow. And I think the team should play to that. So I don't like
if we come out in the back
I almost
three, I'm
expect
going to be
see,
really disappointed.
But I almost expect to see Barrial, Brenner, Acosta. Our whole attacking front should be in there, and just go
with
for
2
it.
games this week, you have to go for the one that seems easier. And like I said, Toronto,
Exactly.
despite their issues, like Jersey Altidore is not even with the team at this point, but Akinola's back and scored. Pasuelo's back, and that's scary for everyone else in the East. If that team gets going, they're kind of rounding into form again. Or they could implode from win side. So Chris Harmus special at this point up there. But if you look at the two, Toronto's still susceptible to things. I just think they have more talent. So you try to win the games you can win, and I think this is the one we can win. Don't expect us to win against Toronto if we don't manage to get another preview episode in with the end of our week. Since we're both busy again with another wedding. Not sure we'll have time to get a preview episode up for Toronto. And then this might be the last episode for a while because then I am gone on vacation. So maybe we won't get to Toronto, but predicting a loss for that one just right off the bat. If Pasuelo plays, we lose by 4. If he doesn't, we lose by 2. All right, so let's go into our Chicago predictions then. What are you feeling?
Yeah. I as negative as we've been this episode, because I think we're recording on such a short swing, and I think we're both just kind of still fatigued from what we saw Saturday, and we might have to see it again tomorrow. But I'm going to stick with my guns of not predicting a loss. 3-1 FCC against Chicago tomorrow night.
Nice. I was thinking 2-1 us, mainly just to try to be positive going into this game. At least I've already mapped out. I'm going to have some nice chicken tendies and some mac and cheese going into it, so at least I'll be happy going in. Probably disappointed if we lose. Maybe I'll come on here because I'll be watching in my house and it's not at the stadium, and I'll just do a sweet emergency rant about Stam out if we somehow lose this game. I expect to see some urgency all around, though, no matter what.
I
hope he better make sure that they feel the urgency, or else if they don't, he's just cannot reach this locker room. Like if we don't look like a team that's come out and knows they need a win, he's got to get. And then you're at this whole thing again, and then we're back to square one. Oh, I forgot about Harris Madunin, though. I don't know why this square one and me doing this made me realize we have another midfielder, but.
We do have another midfielder. I forgot about Harris.
And he even came in the Rado game.
He came in and did fine. Yeah. There's only so much you can do when you bring him in and
he's not a game changer at this point. You're basically just asking him to sit back there and hope to ping a ball into somebody, which is fine. That's what he's there for.
Yeah.
But that doesn't really fit. I guess it kind of does at the end of the game because they're not really countering anymore. But
either way, so you're going for a 2-1 win. I said 3-1. Goal scorers.
2 own goals by Chicago. I have no faith in us actually being able to score ourselves. And I have full faith in them being able to mess up.
Okay, I'm gonna do 2 different score predictions. If Brenner does play, he's getting a brace. He's getting 2
Well,
goals.
too bold.
Nope.
I've already done my Brenner bold goal prediction, and now
Yeah, you have. I haven't. So Brenner brace.
we're gonna play a fun game of who do we think is gonna break the scoreless drought at TQL Stadium at some point. No, wait, we scored at Miami. I forgot. Yeah, I
Yeah,
kind of forgot.
we
I
scored
wasn't there for that
twice.
one, so it doesn't count to me.
And then my third goal, random. No idea. Kubo. I'm gonna say Kubo. Why not? Kubo third goal. Okay. So my other one is just if Brenner doesn't play. I'll still say Kubo gets a goal. But then I'm gonna break it up to Barrial and Acosta. So 3 different goal scorers. But if Brenner plays, Brenner brace and
I
Kubo
like to see
goal.
Barrial get one.
Because why not?
I think he's got one from.
He's been putting so many on target. He just
Yeah, I think
deserves one.
Shuttleworth's a bit of a liability at the back. He might let one of these sneak in that someone like Turner or Yarbrough that we faced the last couple weeks wouldn't. So that's another thing. Just I wish we'd take a few more shots from distance. But then again, I don't because the right people probably aren't the ones that are going to take them. Like if Lucho and Barrial want to start like launching from outside the 18 just to try to give us some rebound chances, I'm all for it. Barrial does. And I think he does it enough. You know what I mean? Like he does enough to keep it.
He just has to get it on his left foot.
I'd like to see
comfortably
Lucho maybe try
outside
to
of the
take a
box.
shot instead of dribble through 3 people sometime because we know he has the ability to. I also find it weird.
Yeah.
We've talked about this that he doesn't take more of the free kicks down there, but he did plant the first one into the shins of the wall at the start of this game. So maybe he just like you're like no, you're out, and then Vasquez came in and take that one at the end, which I didn't know Vasquez took free kicks. So I don't know. I'm gonna just even talking about this. I'm just annoyed already, knowing I'm spending my Wednesday night probably watching us slog through another game and hope we get lucky. Yeah.
All right. Well, I don't want to end it on a negative note. So we both predicted 3 points. A desperately needed 3 points. You gave a Toronto prediction. I'll give mine. So I will also keep my thing going of no losses. So I'll just say 1-1 draw. Yeah. Might not be what I actually think, but I don't want to keep I want to keep my thing going of I'm not predicting losses. So 1-1 draw against Toronto.
Yeah, I don't. Maybe we have a chance because Omar Gonzalez is old and slow, and if we can like have a Tonga just run in a straight line at him, he can probably draw a penalty. That should be the game plan. Just run really fast at Omar Gonzalez. I am not an Omar Gonzalez fan.
Yeah. All right. Do you have any parting takes? Any parting words?
I don't know. I'm just shrugging right now. Like do better. I don't know. Care.
Yeah. We can't. It's hard for us to come on week after week and say pretty much the exact same things to each other.
I just want to see them do better. And it was really disappointing when my girlfriend at the game turns to me and goes, "They're not playing well, are they?" And she has no idea about like watching soccer too much. This is the first year she's really actually watched anything, and I was just like, "No, they're not." Like when someone just untrained just looks at it and goes, they're not doing well," and I'm just like, "That's pretty sad." Like, because there weren't really that many like mess ups, but like when someone's just able to look and be like, "This isn't working," it's just bad. They're just lethargic, and it doesn't look like anyone gives a shit. Like I don't know. My thing's always been just I will always root for a team and people who care, and at least like the teams the first couple years had dudes who looked like they gave a crap. Manu, but I don't know. Now I'm just hoping at that point. If not, I'm hoping Jeff Cameron finally just snaps and just like headbutts a guy. So.
No, I already did my rant, and I'm in the same boat. Though it's disappointing. It's the same loss week after week after week. We're doing the same mistakes. It's got to be cleaned up. So let's just hope it's better tomorrow. It's a team that is truly worse than us. They really are. Like there's no reason we shouldn't walk out with 3 points tomorrow. But we'll see, and we'll see what happens at Toronto or against Toronto on Saturday. So no preview episode for Toronto. 99% sure. No episode next week with you gone.
Sorry, everybody.
Yeah. You don't get to hear our rants.
You want
about
a key?
how sad
You can just
we are.
come in here and record for yourself.
And then the week after that, we should be back.
Yeah, I haven't even looked that far ahead of the schedule. I just can't. Can't.
So
I'm just counting down until I get to
maybe
go to a
this,
road game again. So
yeah. So this is our sad episode. So maybe in like 2 weeks we come back and we have completely changed attitudes because something changed. So we'll see.
either
Uh,
that, or I'm
but
gonna start next episode we actually do with the Office Space, where they like go out and just smash the printer. But it's just gonna be me like repeatedly doing that to like I don't even know like what could we smash that would like be symbolic of this team. Uh, like a
well, we're
Gary.
holding wooden spoons.
Yeah, like
We're
well, I'm
smashing with the
smashing
wooden
with the
spoons.
wooden spoon instead of a baseball
Yeah,
bat.
yeah,
It's
yeah.
just like me hitting probably just myself, like right in the shin repeatedly, because that's what it feels like.
Or just like, yeah, exactly. I don't know. But either way, let's hope when we come back in 2 weeks, we have way more positive news to talk about.
Ooh, hold
Well,
on,
also, when we're back in 2 weeks, Lacadia will be gone.
true. Another thing for you,
So
verbal meme.
that's not a positive. It's just that's we won't get to touch on that. There will be no more Lacadia by the time we actually come back.
Yeah,
So, which once again, not it's actually not good news. We really could use
yeah,
some.
just but not at his price. All right, verbal
Yeah.
meme. FC Cincinnati front office riding a bike, sticks a stick in their own tire, falls. Ouch. Why? Like, why are we doing this? Like, who hurt me? I don't even know who. It's like MLS is conspiring against us, and it's just them just like sucking and just
Yeah. Yeah. Okay.
Jeff Birding.
I think
It's actually they're shoving Jeff Birding into the tire and just like, can't we do this?
yeah, you're starting to lose me on the rant.
Yeah,
We're
I'm
gonna cut
done.
the rants off.
Yeah.
Purple memes.
All right, so let's cut
So
this.
two
Not
weeks.
cutting this.
Yep, 2
Everyone's
weeks.
gonna hear
Let's.
my depression leaking out into the microphone. FC Cincinnati only depression.
Yeah. All right. 2 weeks. Let's hope we come back with better attitudes. Besides that, Chicago tomorrow night, Toronto Saturday. Nick, enjoy your vacation. We will talk to everyone in 2 weeks. For Nick, I'm Cody, and thanks for listening to another episode of pretty much our FC Cincinnati depression. See you guys.